So when you descend in vibration level to become embodied, because now you've chosen this, right? You want to have an embodied experience. You as individuated consciousness. And this is not you as a human. Okay,
Yes.
so please know
Yes.
it's not the same. All right. So now you're sending an aspect of your consciousness, and you have to descend in vibrational level to embody, because now you're very, very high level vibrating consciousness. Now you got to come into density. You got to drop in vibration to become form. The individuated consciousness needs to create a structure or a mechanism through which it can bridge the embodiment, right? You have the eternal now, which is like the everythingness, very high in resonance. Everything is happening in the present moment. And then you have the human embodiment, which is a flattening of time into linear time. You need some kind of structure to like bridge that. It's like a huge jump in resonance. It's very difficult for me to explain the massive, incredible jump in resonance that is.
Yeah.
Like it's huge. So you need something that bridges both, okay? And that's what we call the spirit body, which is a sphere that's at arm's length all around you that projects into the center of itself like a hologram, your physical body. Your brain is a projector, okay, of that hologram. So here's a spirit body. It renders you physically. Your brain is the thing that causes this thing or this illusion around you, okay, the reality. Make sense? So the spirit body is sort of like the little mechanism or midway point, okay, so that we can interface between the physical and spirit, okay? That's what you were asking about.
Yes.
Okay, so why space and time? Like,
Right.
why is that so important in this consciousness? Okay. So as the spirit body renders you, okay, the physicalness, okay, even like when you're, okay, so the spirit body exists before you're born, okay? So as here you are coming into form, spirit body, then whoop, it renders into this little baby. Okay, so I know this is a bit of a trippy thing. You're constantly rendering. It's not a fixed thing, but your spirit body has the imprint of like, what does it mean for a human to age? So it's projecting second by second by second by second, you aging, because it has a habituated story that you have based on your distortion, based on your lineage patterns, based on the human story of what it means to age. And it projects that into
You're
you.
saying your mind connects with the...
Yeah, the spirit body projects this, your mind interprets it and creates the reality that's you.
Got it.
Okay? But it's like as a baby, as a 2-year-old, as a 4-year-old, as a 13-year-old, et cetera, okay? It's not static, people. It's fluid always, okay? So just please be aware of this. So I'm trying to explain something fluid that's happening that has many, many possibilities linearly, okay?
It's very challenging.
It's very challenging, so I'm doing my best, all right?
You're doing great.
All right, so here we go. All right, why do you need space and time? Space is important because in our density, we have something called structure. Everything is structure, right? The distance between the molecules in your blood, how your bones are structured, your organs, the placement between your brain and your body, like all this sort of stuff, right? The molecules of these plants, everything is spatially oriented. It's structure. It's what creates form.
Yes.
You need space, okay, in order to have density. Okay. You also need time. Why? Time is the thing upon which that entire collective illusion works. It's kind of like, in those spy movies where everyone's like, let's sync our watches to 0. Tink, and they're all gonna like do the heist, they're like, everyone's synchronized to the same point in time.
Right.
When you come into the reality as a newborn, okay, so you're newborn, right? You probably scream and cry. You enter a certain space-time resonance. Okay, it's like everything in that reality, you just like come in and you agree in that moment to what the 0 point of time is.
In this reality,
in this
as
space
an
time,
embodied human.
As an embodied human that you're
It's
sharing.
like a law that you agreed to kind of...
Yeah, it's more like a coordinate.
A coordinate, okay.
Okay, so it's more like, okay, we've all agreed this is 0 of time. Okay, so that means, for example, that with space, the illusion is consistent among all of us that share this space-time resonance. So what's like you and I agree that there's a painting there, that there are the flowers here, that you're wearing this and I'm wearing that.
Right.
And this is what we actually look like. And this is this room. It creates a collective illusion. If you don't have the 0 of time, there's no collectivity in the illusion. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's the glue that holds the illusion together.
Okay.
Space is the thing that gives the illusion structure. Make sense? It's a thing that gives it form. And then it pins it to something called time, right? It puts it in the illusion. I hope that makes sense.
That was so well put.
Okay.
Yes, that totally makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, okay. So all of this stuff is important. And when you're in the 0 point of space and time, you bring yourself into that 0 point that you come into, that you're born into, and you're like, okay, this is the collective agreement of everybody in this space-time resonance of what 0 is. The more you're in 0, the more you can affect that list of things I just gave you at the beginning, right? Because you're right, like, it's kind of like being in flow. You know when people talk about being in flow?
Oh yeah, the flow state.
The flow state, you're in the 0. Okay, they talk about it as flow for sure. And I get it. It feels like you're in this like expansive, open, like flow state. But really what you're in is you're in the 0. Because when you're in the 0 point, you're on that what did we call it? The gateway, or that point where you're just between
bridge point?
The bridge point. Yes, between physical and spirit. Because you really are. You're right in that coordinate. It's a coordinate, literally, of that space-time reality that is right smack between physical and spirit.
Which is what you want.